Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to be looking what's on the inside of my Spectre 2 1970 USSR Fuzz, so if you're interested, stay tuned. Okay everyone, this is the pedal and we're going to be, before we look into it, I'm just going to go over it a little bit more because I never really did this in the original video. If you haven't seen the original video, I'll put the thing, the card and in the description for you to watch it if you're interested in the tone test. But some things I want to just go over quickly that I didn't mention in the previous video. So as you can see from here, that says in Russian, it says Spectre 2. I cannot remember what the thing says, but in the middle there it says 48 and then that word, and that means it was 48 rupees or rubles. Now I'm not sure how much that translate to, because obviously there was inflation. You know, this was in the USSR, so the economy was not very good at all. So there was inflation and then the exchange rates, both of which were changing. So I was not able to get a definitive answer of how much that might have costed. If anyone in Russia can possibly tell me, or at least knows the exchange rates, because I couldn't. Different places were telling me different things. Some were saying like £200, like today's money, and some were saying like 700, like close to £1,000. And then another thing here as well, that little star next to where it says Spectre, that says CCCP. The CCCP, you know, the Russian organizer, the Russian company that, you know, was working and going to Russia, going to the moon and stuff like that. Very interesting. Then other things, I translated the rest. I think that just says in and the other one says out. This is the war. That Russian word is the war, because this is the war control. That's the fuzz one. That's the fuzz one. That's the war one. But when I translate it, it translates to wow, and then also the fuzz translates to FUS, like fuss, which I think is quite interesting. And then it's just like on, off, whatever. And then here as well, it says that says fuss control or something like that. It's or fuss volume. It's the only thing that is actually changeable on this. Also, like, the volume is the only thing that you can control. The rest of it is fixed. And then here, I never translated what that sticker says, but it's like OKT, and then yeah, OKT, and then you see there's a 6 there as well. It's a bit difficult to see. So that's coming off. The paint is all chipping off as well, just from handling it. It just comes off. But anyway, that's enough talking. Let's look into it. So originally, when I was looking at it, I was fiddling around with these screws here with the of the feet of it. However, that is not how you take it off. How you take the bottom plate from it is by undoing this singular screw here. And keep in mind, just before, I'm not a, I don't know a lot about, so I'm taking off the screw here, sorry it wasn't in shot. I don't know a lot about electronics or electronic boards or like what each thing does. So I take it off this screw now, and now it just comes apart. And so how this was being held together was, so there was the screw that was attached through that hole there, and then on the other side there were just these hooks, and these hooks were being hooked into here, these little dimples there, which is an interesting design, very minimalistic, easy. However, that's not exactly a good design, as I'll show you why in a second, because when I was first of all, you have to do it in the specific order of hooking in this first and then putting it through. However, it's not also a good design due to the fact that the bits with the hooks, they slide around very easily. So, sorry, excuse this taking a long time for the demonstration. I just want to prove a point here that so pretend this is screwed in, it's not, but like you can easily slide this side around, and even if I did screw that in, it doesn't change. So yeah, that was a bit annoying. Also, another bit of a failure on the USSR factory. This bottom plate is not centered at all with it. It overhangs slightly on this side. This isn't, and because you can slide it around, it doesn't work like very well. You know, even if you do center it, it can easily become uncentered. But yeah, it overhangs on that side, is a bit short on that side. Whatever. I'm not entirely sure why there are these holes in here. This power 9-volt power cable was after market. It was something modded for the modern day. So I don't know if there was a previous cable that would have run through here like this does. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, and then you see these feet as well. They're just held on just by these nuts. So yeah, they don't contribute to the overall thing of it at all. So now here we are in the pedal. This interesting brown. I don't know why it's brown. I don't know why it's not just the original metal, or why it's not all just blue. Maybe they did different colors, or I don't know why. But some interesting things. Like I said, I don't know what all the electronics do. I don't know what each thing does. However, I do know, you know, a thing or two about design. That's what I study. And yeah, so as you can see, it's got a brown circuit board in the middle there, not the traditional green ones. It has this one I suppose two potentiometers. This one here, which is the volume, and you change that just by putting in a screwdriver and turning it, and all it is the volume. It's not the amount of fuzz. It's not, like, as far as I can tell, it doesn't really change anything with the volume. It doesn't really change anything to the fuzz. It's just the volume. And then the second potentiometer is the fuzz. The wah. Yeah. So as you can see, as I move that up and down, it's spinning the wheel there. And another interesting thing is it's actually rather difficult to take off this bit, because yeah, you're not going to be able to see that necessarily, but basically there's a bit of a slight good angle. No, you can't see it. But anyway, what it is it's not just screwed in. It's screwed in from this side, and it's like clipped in, which I'll be able to do. It'll just be a little difficult. So the screws that are holding it in, there's that one there, which is actually connected to like a circuit board or grounding thing, and then there's another one behind this jack. So I will give a close up just of the circuit board there. There is writing, and I'm pretty sure that's a capacitor right there. There's some resistors, like a 75k, 2k7. You know, some of this might not actually mean anything in today's way of doing it. Yeah, it's difficult to focus on with my camera angle. It's a really dodgy angle, which I apologize for. Yeah, it's not really focusing. It's too small. You can see what that capacitor was saying there a little bit. And then, yeah, an interesting thing, all these wires along this side, they're just held together like with this bit of string, like a special string. Quite primitive in my opinion. Yeah, so let's look. Oh, and one final thing as well. I don't know what these hooks are meant. I don't know what they're for. Like you can see them on the other side. Well, you can't because of the terrible light. Oh, look, you see them on there. There's another one on the other side. I don't know why they're there. I don't know what they do. I don't know what their function was, but let's just take off. Let's undo these screws now. if I can. Maybe I can't. I thought I could. I thought I did so before, but maybe that was just a figment of my imagination. Maybe I did with the drill, but I don't really want to take a drill to this. Yeah, I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry about that. But anyway, all I was going to do is I was just going to give a close-up view of these, how it turns on and off. You know, it's a switch like that, and these actually turn. These can swivel. Also, you can see the pot for the wah. That's just in there. That's what that hole is. Yeah, it's all very interesting, just how they design it and what was going through the heads. There's also these two screws here blended into this quite thick piece of the rubber kind of plastic textured. But I couldn't unscrew them, and I don't really want to. I assume it just takes off this, but I think it might be glued down as well as. Oh wait, no. What it does is it connects to the where it pivots. Yeah, I can't get any good angle of showing it because of the lighting. Yeah, if I try to move my light, it just puts glare. So sorry about that. So yeah, it's interesting. And then just one final thing, which I want to demonstrate. So these jacks here were not originally these jacks. They were. If you look today on Reverb, you find a lot of 5-pin jacks, and there was this man in the comment, or boy, I don't know, in the comments who was who commented and explained to me they originally were DIN jacks. I thought they were MIDI jacks because they were 5-pin, but they weren't. They look like MIDI, but they're DIN jacks. They're mostly obsolete. However, you do see a couple of them on. Obviously, they're not universal whatsoever, and also there were complaints that they slide out quite easily from them. So thank you, Eddie, if you are watching this. Thank you for your contribution. But here's the funny thing about these. So you see they're quite recessed into here. I'm not sure why. And like the DIN jacks, my cables fall out very easily. I know there's a lot going on here, but I'll show. So they fall out super easily. And I think that's due to the fact it's so recessed. The thing is so recessed that if you see my cable there, it does not hook onto the little notch, and so it just easily slides out. It makes contact and you can play, but it just comes out really easily, and I'm not sure why that is, because I was looking at it, I thought maybe there's a couple washers that I can take out or something like that, but it seems that the whole design of it is made to be like that, and just the fact that it's recessed, you know, and it's part of it could be that it's a right angle jack. As you see, it makes contact with the actual base of the thing, and I suppose there's a little bit more to push through. However, yeah, it's a bad design. It's a bad design. Yeah, I don't have any I don't have any like straight jacks. But that's what it is, and I thought that was an interesting piece of design, and that's the biggest fault. Another thing is that these were designed for, like I mentioned in the original video, these were designed for Soviet guitars, and they had very unresponsive pickups. They were very quiet, and they didn't have a lot of output. So this really affects your tone, your levels, I mean. You can be playing, you can turn it off and you can have a normal clean volume, but as soon as you turn on the fuzz, the volume comes straight down. It's really quiet, and so you have to run with. I remedied this problem by having the pickups all the way down to the guitar, so it means that they have a lower output, and that fixed the levels a little bit of turning it from clean to the fuzz. Another thing I intend of doing I intend of modding my guitar to have lipstick pickups, as they have very low output, or sourcing an original Soviet guitar with the original pickups. I think that could also help, depending that they are low output. Sorry, Tim Sway, if you watch him, he's recently been doing these projects with these old-fashioned Soviet guitars, and I mentioned this to him, that I wondered if the pickups on his guitars, because he got some original Soviet guitars, I mentioned it, I wondered if the pickups on his were low output, but he said he didn't have anything of the sort. So I don't know if it's just this pedal, I don't know what is the deal with that. The other alternative is to mod this. However, I am not super confident in electronics. I'm sure I could easily work it out. It's probably not that difficult. However, I do not want to take away from the original, the original pedal, really. So, if anyone else has some ideas how I could remedy that, maybe it's as simple just taking out a capacitor, taking out a resistor, or something like that. It most likely I would have to take out a resistor. There seemed to be quite a lot in the circuit board. If you saw, there was it looked like there was about 10, if they were resistors, of course. But anyway, that concludes this video. I don't really have much more to say about that. It's an interesting design, and I wanted to show everyone the inside of it because I hadn't done that before. It might be valuable to some people. Oh, here, look, I'll show you where it slides. I just did it just by accident. So this is when it's screwed in and it slides, and it makes an annoying squeak as well. And you can't line it up perfectly because on this side where this screw is, it is misaligned, and it also comes away from the thing. You can push it down, but it doesn't do anything really. It fixes it a little bit, but yeah, it overhangs on this side and then falls short on that side. So yeah, bad design. So yeah, I think that concludes this, really. I hope you found this entertaining or useful. Anyone that might have been interested in this, I know I've certainly been interested in Soviet pedals and Soviet gear for a long time, so I hope this has been useful to someone. If it has, leave a like, leave a comment, have any useful information. I'll be reading all of the comments that you send me. I know this is a bit of a longer video. I didn't really intend it for that, but I don't intend any of my videos to be this long, but I always get it to them anyway. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Bye. Thank you for watching. See you.